Maka and the Charizard. Oh my gosh, I got a Charizard. I went all the way from the Midwest to the West Coast looking for Pokemon cards. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Lionheart. That's Elton and Heart 16. Welcome to the Bridelands. You heard it right. I recently traveled from Oklahoma all the way to Washington looking for Pokemon cards, but that's only half true. Really, my wife and I went on vacation. We wanted to go to Seattle, and my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they had a work conference in which they needed someone to watch their new baby. And so we went up there and watched their baby for the first 2 days. And then we were gonna use the rest of the time for vacation to do whatever we wanted to do. But in the back of my mind, I had it in the how cool would it be if I found Pokemon cards on this vacation? I got to rip cards in Washington. Like something from Seattle. Like it'd be so cool to just be like, no, I ripped this back in Seattle. Because one of the last vacations we went on, like my honeymoon with my wife, she snuck Pokemon cards into my bag, and I got to open them on my birthday, because my birthday also happened to be on during our honeymoon. So I have the cards that I opened on our honeymoon. So it's just kind of cool. It'd be really cool to be able to go on vacation and find Pokemon cards. And so today I'm gonna tell you guys about what that was like, what kind of cards you can find in the West Coast, mainly Washington. But anyways, so we leave from Oklahoma City and fly up to Washington, and we touch down in SeaTac in Seattle, and in between Seattle and Tacoma. And the first 2 days we're actually gonna stay in Tacoma, Washington. And so we like pull up into this like bougie neighborhood. Like it's got really great Airbnbs. Like the neighborhood's just really pretty, and we're in like a nicer area, which apparently is like, I guess Tacoma's not supposed to be like so great of an area, but I thought it was pleasant. I thought it was really nice. But across from the neighborhood that we're staying in with this Airbnb, there is a supermarket chain called Safeway. And now, if you're in the Midwest, we don't have Safeways, but the West Coast has Safeways, and probably other states too, but I'm just not familiar with them at all. But essentially, if you're in the Midwest, Safeway is like a Reese's or an Albertsons or a Sprouts or a Whole Foods or something like that, where it's not a Walmart, but it is like a grocery store that has a lot of different things. Like you can consider it like a supermarket or whatever. And so we are in there the first night picking out groceries. It's like me and my brother-in-law and his friend, and like the girls stay back at home, like getting ready for the night, and like we're just in there like picking out groceries, what food we want to eat throughout the night. And in my mind, I'm like, I have heard about Safeway, and I've seen it on like Reddit and on TikTok. Like Safeway is one of those places that sometimes has cards. I'm like, maybe this one does. And so like as I'm like shopping, I'm like, keeping an eye out, like, where might there be some cards in this place? I don't know. And so I like walk past like the kids aisle or whatever, the toys and whatnot, and I see like, oh, no cards in there. Okay, whatever. So maybe this one doesn't have any. No big deal. So I keep like, getting groceries and whatnot, getting my peanut butter jelly, get some bread and some lunch meat, and out of the corner of my eye, I spot it. This thing I've never seen before. The first time I ever seen it in the wild is a giant, big, like white vending machine that is a Pokemon vending machine. I've never seen one before, and I've heard they have them in Oklahoma City. I've never seen one in Tulsa. I don't even think there are any in Tulsa. But here's one in this Tacoma Safeway, and I'm like, all right, cool. And so I'm like eyeing it, and I can see some of the first page, right? Like it's just sitting there, like the big touchscreen or whatever, but you can't really tell what's going on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a point to go over there once I'm done, like doing my stuff. As I'm thinking that, this guy walks up to it, and he's like, I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do? What's gonna happen? He walks up and he touches the screen, and like pops up, and like the first thing you see is like all the products. Very clearly, I'm very familiar with this thing, the sold out logo on top of all of the product. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he gives it a good scroll, and it's sold out all the way down. Everything on there is sold out. And my mom was like, ha, this guy, this chump, you missed out. Da, da, da. And like, wait a second. It's like, I'm him. I'm also chump, because that means I also miss out on it. So my first experience of running into Pokemon cards in Washington was that they are also sold out, like in Oklahoma. But like I didn't give up hope, because again, I was just like, sometimes you can find stuff. Like who knows? So even like when we were in the airport and stuff like that, I'm like looking in every one of the gift shops. I'm like, maybe Pokemon cards at the airport. Why not? Who knows? Didn't see any there, of course. And then this Safeway doesn't have any. So we finished babysitting my niece, and she was great. She's probably gonna be a celebrity one day. I won't say her name or anything like that, to like respect my family, but they, yeah, she'll probably be famous because she's got a sick name. We move on from Tacoma, and we are going to take a scenic route to our Airbnb because we're actually staying across the bay from Seattle. I'll try to throw up a map like up here, like downtown Seattle. I guess if you guys are looking at it, it's going to be over here, and we're staying across the bay in a place called Port Orchard, which is over here, and then like Tacoma is like right here-ish, and we're gonna travel around this way because we want to catch some of the forest. Like there's like this really awesome like national forest up there, and we want to like see some of it if we can. And so we take the scenic route that takes us all the way out there, and on our journey there, it happens to take us through like some kind of like random areas that happen to have Walmarts, like that are across from like gas stations and like McDonald's and Burger King, like really like, just like pit stop areas that happen. This one happens to have Walmart. So like we go into Walmart because we're gonna get it's like a really cheap lunch. Like we just want some like sandwiches and it's like some chips and maybe like a water or something like that. So we go in there. But of course, if I'm going into a Walmart, of course I'm gonna have my eyes peeled. I'm gonna be looking for the Pokemon cards. And so I'll walk through the area in the front where sometimes you can see cards, and there it is. There's the Pokemon section, and it is empty. All there is like the bare bones of a display case for the tins just sitting there on the shelf. I'm like, dang, okay. So even out here in the middle of nowhere, there are no cards. Like, and because this is the same thing. Whenever a couple months ago, I was on a work trip and I found a Walmart out in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, and it had one Shrouded Fable ETB. I didn't pick it up because at the time I was like, I mean, I have a Shrouded Fable Pokemon Center one like up there, so I'm just like, I don't need this one because I have that one. So it's like, whatever. So I didn't grab it. But this place had nothing. This place had nothing. So we move on our trip. Oh, well, no big deal. We get closer to our Airbnb area and we come across another Safeway. And so we stop into that Safeway because we're picking up dinner for the night. And so we're like, just like trying to figure out something light that we can eat. We know we're not going into town or anything like that. And so I'm also, of course, like that other Safeway had Pokemon like cards in it. Does this one have? And oddly enough, it didn't. So that's another weird thing is like, who gets to decide where the vending machines are? I'm not really sure. And how that gets worked out and when, who's in charge of that? What can have a vending machine? Why doesn't Tulsa have any that I know of? Because I know OKC does. Like, I don't know. Who knows? But this Safeway had no Pokemon in it at all, where the other one had the potential of it, but just didn't have any. This one didn't even have any potential because it didn't have the machine. So whatever. We get to the Airbnb. Next day, we wake up super early, catch the ferry, go across the bay to Seattle, which is, by the way, guys, Washington is just beautiful. Beautiful. Great place. If you guys are gonna go on a vacation and you like rainy days, like and just like a consistent temperature, like it was like relatively cool just the whole time we were there. The sun came out one time and actually got like a little hot because I was in like jeans, but man, see, like Washington was awesome. I loved it. So 10 out of 10 would suggest the ferry life is cool. We were staying across the bay from downtown Seattle. Catch the ferry going to Seattle, and again, my eyes are peeled. I'm like, I'm not here for Pokemon, but again, it would be so cool to find Pokemon cards here. And so like I'm looking around, and there's a lot of little like private vendors and things like that, and just like local store owners and some like gas stations built into the downtown. And like I'm like looking at everything, like every chance, like where could there be some? Nothing. There's nothing anywhere. Nothing anywhere in all of Seattle. I even like at one time like Googled while we were like, we had like a down moment. I was like, card shops near me, because I also thought like, hey, how cool would that be if there's just like a local card shop in Seattle that I could like swing by and get like maybe one pack just to support them, not like to like do something crazy or anything like that, or like pick up a single that I really liked or something like that. Couldn't find anything within feasible walking distance. That's the other thing. We were like on foot, but one of the days walking back from the Space Needle, which was actually really cool to see, we saw a Target built into one of the sides of the Seattle downtown towers. Just like a Target, just right there. I'm like, okay, well, Target has Pokemon cards, usually, right? So we walk in one day into this Target, and it's crazy. It's a 3-level Target. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be... I kind of just wanted to see the Target anyways, just to see how like a big box store like Target like fits into this like downtown like walkway. and it was actually super cool. Like I'm glad we went into the Target just to see like a different version of Target than what we see in Oklahoma. And so that was really cool. It was a 3-story Target. Like the whole middle section is which the the floor you come in on is like the middle section of the Target, and it's just like oddities. So it's just like your pharmacies in there, like random knickknacks, coffee mugs, like storage stuff, blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff. The bottom floor is all food. All the food is in the bottom floor. And the very top floor is like your things like electronics and clothes, so more like personal items, like things like that. So I go up there to the top, and I'm like looking around, and I find like their like Pokemon section, and there's actually something. Oh man, maybe I can find it on Google. Future Your Lionheart, try to throw this up. This thing was actually pretty cool. I didn't have any room in my bag for it, and it was also kind of expensive. But they had a Lego set, Pokemon Lego set that had all the evolutions in it. When I was like, that's actually kind of cool. But I didn't get that, anyways. But the thing is, I also when I was looking around, there was no Pokemon cards. I also didn't even see any of the sections. Like usually when I don't see Pokemon cards, I at least like read the price tags to see if a product would have been there. Like what did I miss? What are they stocking? What could possibly be here? And I try to keep tabs like that and like in my head to like know what I could possibly try to go look for. So I didn't see any of the tags say like there's Pokemon cards here. So like, okay. So eventually I just like walk up to the guy. I was like, hey, I need 2 things. I'm looking for wireless headphones for the plane ride back, and also, do you have any Pokemon cards? He's like, headphones are over here. And no, this is like one of the few Targets that just does not have Pokemon cards. Almost all the other Targets have them. This one does not. And I didn't ask why, because I was like, this guy just works here. He probably doesn't like make the rules or anything. But I imagine a Target in downtown Seattle has a lot of stealing happening. So I imagine they have to be pretty. I just imagine that's a hot product to steal. So they're just. It's probably just easier if they don't have it. So no big deal. We get Linus Hart finds a cool, cute little mug and we get like a Gatorade or something like that, and then we head out of the Target and go home. So the whole rest of the time, those were the only places that I thought, hey, there might actually be Pokemon cards here, were like the Safeway, the Walmart, and the Target, and of course like the local vendors or like a card shop or anything like that. But man, I didn't find a single Pokemon card in Washington, which is crazy. But the story does not end there, because when we come home, and we get back to like Oklahoma City at like 1 in the morning. Gosh, it was like so late. It was like 18 hours of travel, which is insane because it does not take 18 hours to get home from Seattle. It's just we woke up at 6 a.m. to catch a ferry to get to downtown Seattle, to catch a taxi to the airport, to get checked in 2 hours early, just to get through check through in like 15 minutes, which was like, that was actually kind of nice, right? You hate when check-in takes a long time. For our flight to get delayed by like 30 minutes, no big deal. We take like a 4-hour flight from SeaTac to Dallas Fort Worth for like a 5-hour layover in Dallas, just to have a 45-minute flight from Dallas to OKC. So we get it. It was crazy. We get it back in OKC at like 1 in the morning. Wake up the next day, we're like hanging out with Linus's our parents and doing some things like that, just like catching up and doing our laundry and doing some things like that. And I'm tasked with going to get lunch for the day. We've like ordered into Qdoba, so I'm headed to the Qdoba, and then I remember that just like the week before I went on vacation, that I'd heard that Aldi's had gotten some Pokemon cards in the Tulsa area. The Tulsa area, Aldi's got Paldean Fate mini tins, and I didn't get any, but I did find the section where they were, so I knew it was true. I found the section where they were. I knew it was true, and I went and looked and didn't find any, but like found that section. But now that I was in OKC, I knew I had to pass an Aldi's to get to this to get our lunch, Qdoba. So I just stop in before I go to Qdoba, and I just want to look. I'm just like looking like, what does this one have? You know, maybe they have got mini tents or whatnot. Turns out this Aldi's that I walk into had just stocked that morning Pokeball, these Pokeball tins, and they had like 30 of them. All right. Now, of course, I'm not gonna buy 30 of them. I bought 2 of them, and I opened one the other night on Discord with the boys. It had 2 Scarlet and Violet, and oh, it had 2 Scarlet and Violet and 1 Obsidian Flames pack in it. And we pulled this Arcanine, which I actually love. This Arcanine Centering's great. We'll probably be sending it in. It's just a sick card. It's an awesome card. So stoked about that. And we're gonna open this right here. But so Washington really didn't have anything Pokemon wise for me. But you know what I did get? I got a new hat. I got a Seattle's Supersonic hat, which I'm pretty stoked about because I live in OKC, the Oklahoma City, or I live in Oklahoma. I lived in OKC for a while, and I'm a huge Thunder fan. Thunder used to be this Seattle Supersonic, so my goal was to get something from the Sonics that could be like, you know, historical but still cool. But low-key, I really don't like the Sonics colors. But this hat is more black than it is the other colors, so that's fine. But anyways, we're gonna open this up and see if our vacation cards had any hits in them. Again, we opened up another one of them the other night, and we hit that Arcanine. I love that Arcanine. It's great. We're very happy about that. Anything out of this one, any further hits out of this is just bonus. But again, the goal out of all this stuff is like guilt-free ripping. I don't want to rip for over MSRP, so that's why I'm willing to check a lot of places, including Washington, for potential MSRP ripping. And again, it just would have been cool to have found cards on vacation to say these like you know, imagine you find some prismatic on vacation and hit any of the SIRs, and that can sit in your binder and just be like, this was something I found. I got this hit on vacation. I don't know, just kind of cool stuff, dude. How do you open these? This is like my 3rd time trying to open these on a video, and I can't do it. Okay, we got it. Like I said, our last one was 2 Scarlet Violet base sets and an Obsidian Flame. This is also 2 Scarlet Violet base sets and an Obsidian Flame. The only thing I don't like about the Pokeball tins, which this is A24. Interesting. The other one was H20. The only thing I don't like about these these smell so bad. If I open these up and they're like molded or something, that is going to be insane and probably a pretty crazy video. But the thing I really don't like about these tins is the way they bend the packs. I think it has a higher chance of damaging the cards in the packs. But we're going to start with our Scarlet and Violet base set. And since it's just 3 packs, we're just going to open them on this camera instead of pull out the phone camera. Oh, we got some stank on them. Goodness. It's crazy. Okay. Let's call water energy. Okay. 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 Watch rule. Mankey. You guys see that? Oh yeah, I forgot I have to do it left-handed. This camera. It's just weird. Oh, I saw something shiny. Their Viper. Oh, Indeedee. That is a very shiny Indeedee. Indeed, it is very shiny. Okay. 1 pack down. Let's do another Scarlet Violet base. We are looking for the Ninetales out of Obsidian Flames. I want that Ninetales, or any of the Charizards, of course, any of the Charizards. Out of Scarlet Violet base, I think the things you want to hit are still the it's called Grass. I think you still want to hit the Gardevoir, the Routes line. That Drowsy is still like pretty expensive, but that was clearly like a pump and dump thing happening. So like we would still take it, but like I never liked it really that much anyways. So like I get it. It's like a kind of cool. Raptor, reverse hollow Rocky helmet. Oh, yes, yes, we got the Gardevoir. Oh, awesome. Oh my gosh. Cool. Oh my gosh. Awesome. So exciting. I was just saying, we want the routes line. We want the routes line. So let's find a, let me get a penny for it. Ugh. That is so cool. Awesome. Okay, that is one of the top hits in the set. I know Scarlet and Violet, I think, has been falling in price a little bit. I mean, everything's kind of going down in price a little bit with like what's been going on. But there's these, you know, these cards like this are just going to be iconic for a long time. So it doesn't, there's some cards that don't really matter what the market is doing, right? They're almost like market proof. There's some cards who get like extreme gains through the market and then will obviously like fall back down, but will never fall below what they were, kind of thing. Like the cards you see like have major upswings, like some of the evolutions from like Evolving Skies and stuff like that. But then there's other cards that just like they don't seem to have anything to do with the market, and I feel like this Gardevoir card is one. So I'm stoked about that. That's cool. I've always seen that card in the card shop and I'm like, oh, that's actually a really cool card. I love the card that tells a story. And it's just, again, what I say all the time. Pokemon doing things, popular cards. Really awesome cards. And this this Gardevoir is like, you know, helping around the house. You know, it's just a Pokemon doing everyday things. All right, last pack, Obsidian Flames. It's called Electric Energy. Water. Dang, so 1 for 3 today on the calls, which is okay. Again, we're looking for Ninetales or Charizard here. Ninetales or Charizard for our Aldi's Pokeball A2410. Not this Ninetales. This is a sick Ninetales too, but this is not the one we're looking for. Duramaka and a Charizard. Oh my gosh, we got a Charizard. It's the opposite of the one that I have up there. Oh my gosh, we got a Charizard. We made out like bandits today. That is so awesome. Where are my sleeves at? Oh my gosh. Okay, so in 2 Pokeball tins from Aldi's, I got a Charizard, a Gardevoir, and an Arcanine. So 6 packs total. We loved it. You love to see it. I think this is my first Charizard to pull ever. I had a dark Charizard. I still have it in my binder from when I was younger, but I got that through trade. So I think this is my first Charizard, like big hit Charizard that I've ever pulled. I've pulled like some Charizard V's and stuff like that, but that's like kind of exciting. I got a Charizard. Sick. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I went on vacation, didn't find any Pokemon cards, but found some at home, pulled some sick cards. Cool. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.